Good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock here, and I thought I'd better get and visit you because it's Thanksgiving long weekend here in Canada, and I want to share a little bit of what we're doing, which isn't much. It isn't much because we had a maybe. Maybe my brother was going to come up, but he was going hunting for 2 weeks way up in Quesnel. Now he's a year older than me, and him and his best friend, they go hunting up there every year, and they're, getting on and have issues. But they've been out there with some kind of a tent where there's grizzly bears and all kinds of wild animals. They've been up in Quesnel for 2 weeks, and I haven't heard from them yet, but I think they would have been, he said, if we get a moose early and get home early, we'll come up for Thanksgiving. It's the end of the 2 weeks, and I still haven't heard from him, so I don't think he's coming, but just in case, I'll be prepared. Or we're going to eat really good. And this happens all the time, so now I just laugh about it because I think I got used to it. His heart's in the right place, but hunting is to him like orchids are to us. So that's where he is, or he's part way home. But I sent a little text and I said, Moose, I'm wondering. But where he is, there's no cell phone, so I'm sure he would have texted me if he was on his way home. So, and then Rosemary and her partner, they are fishing. They got from their son, they got a free derby, or to go in a fishing trip to Vancouver Island, so that's where they've all gone. And nobody else lives close, so it's the 3 of us, so there'll be lots. Come on over. So we got a nice fresh turkey. It was just butchered. It's organic and pasture raised in a little place not far from here, Armstrong. I buy chicken from them, and I can't eat chicken from the store anymore. This chicken is so good. So anyway, I said, do you have turkey? She says, yes, I can bring you one. They have a farmer's market every Wednesday, organic farmer's market here in Salmon Arm. So she had a big order, and I was lucky. So we have a nice fresh turkey I'll be cooking tomorrow. And I have 2 pies in the oven, 1 pumpkin and 1 squash pie, because years ago, my neighbor, when we first moved up here, and Rosemary was 10 and she's 55, so that's 45 years ago, we got a 40-acre farm on the highway not far from here, and that's where all my farming blood came out. And it was thanks to my neighbor Henry. Well, when we moved in there, I knew nothing about farming, and he taught me everything. He was 82, and it was always, Henry said. I had pigs, and I didn't know what to do. I always asked him. It was just priceless, and he was away the time that the baby pigs came, and I had this huge, big mummy pig, and Rosemary and I were there in the barn, and there's all these baby pigs coming, so we just opened the book, and it said, well, you had to cut their teeth off, or little nibs off their teeth or something. And anyway, we're just reading while we're doing. So all the little baby pigs were born, and they were so cute. And then we get to the end, be careful because the sow can be really mean. And here we are sitting in there with the whole works of them, but nobody was mean. Rosemary and I used to go steal the baby pigs and take them out in the sun and play with them and put them back. They were so cute. They were. Anyway, I could write a book about all that, and I better not, or we won't get an orchid planted today. So that's what's happening here for Thanksgiving. And you know, if you lived close and you were hungry, let me know. Okay, so what happened is Jack found this little purple traffic cone shape, and I was going to paint it, but I'm running out of time. And I thought, you know, purple is fine. And he went and burnt all the holes in with some kind of a burnt hot rod thing, and he burned himself a little bit. But, and then there was one little split in it, and he patched that on the inside. He put some kind of glue. He said it won't leak now. But then, sometimes we put wire in there, but this pot here has so many holes, and so that they'll all still breathe. But then I can use this stand, which we found at the outside thrift store for $1, and I thought, you know, I like that stand, and it'll hold this really nice. So it sits in there like that, and yeah, I like that. So then, just to stop the bark from falling through, and it's still, there's so many holes, too many holes really for me here. It dries way too quick, and then the plant's not happy. So this way, I think will be a lot better. It'll stop the bark from falling through. And the bottom of the pot is about here, so it is a big pot for a poor little orchid, but you know, well, I'll show you this. Anyway, this goes back to May 6, 2023, when Rosemary sent me 3 orchids for Mother's Day. They got here a little late, but they were for Mother's Day because the order was... But anyway, this poor little thing, I never did change its pot. And it's not looking good, I have to admit. See, and we've had the driest summer on record, and the poor little roots, and it's very sad looking, and I felt bad, and I thought, oh, it's gotta be put in a pot. And I know everybody just goes up a little bit in pots. I don't. I like big pots. And if you've seen my orchids, they have lots of roots. They grow roots to fit those pots. So anyway, I have Wilsonara Tan Treasures Lavender Picotee. So I always pronounce things wrong, so who knows. So this poor little thing is going in this nice pot, and just like usual, because I've been so busy, I have to run out there and get the bark I've been soaking. So I'll just be a minute. It smells delicious in here, but it doesn't, the pie can't come out till 2:30. 2:30 I'll stick a knife in it and see. So my bark's been soaking here for well over 3 days because I had plans on coming to visit sooner. But, so anyway, I think it's going in the purple pot how it is. I had it sitting in this pot, and just trying to keep it all summer just more humid, but there's a little bit of bark from it in here. So let's have a look and see exactly what it looks like. Wednesday was watering day, and like months early I have spikes coming all over the place, and some of the ones that I've left the spike from last year, if I thought the orchid was happier and healthier, I left the spike and just cut it back a bit. Some of them have flowers, some of them have spikes and another spike coming. I think it was because it was so hot for so long, and still is. It's cold at night, but that's the thing. Early we started getting cold at night, even though it was real hot in the day and they were still out there. So even though it was a real hot to a not that cold, it was still getting 10 to 15 difference in temperature between their day temperature and their night temperature. And it told some of them it was time to come, because usually by February I have flowers. Not all of them, but some of them, usually by Valentine's. But this year, they'll be sooner. So let's see what this really looks like, this poor little thing. Okay. Okay. This is what it looks like. I'm going to give it a little rinse. Poor little thing. I have been, you know what, it does need cleaned up. I don't like to leave these things on, because they only give a little place for little bugs to go and hang out. And I don't want bugs hanging out. Oh. So let's just see, I'm just pulling this stuff off, because, well, there's no bugs in there now and it's been there that long, but I think I'll just take it off. Like this one, sometimes, you know, even if you're taking a leaf, instead of trying to pull the whole leaf, split it from the end. Anyway, that one, 2, 3. There we go. That's better. And this little piece here. There. I think that looks a little better. There's another piece over here. Here. I think I'm going to take that out of there too. So now we're looking a little better. So this is from this side, and this is from this side. I know it's a big pot, but its roots are looking a little better there. So I mean, it's been through what we've been through here, and I have, you know, it is nice outside right now. We go out and it's so beautiful, and our lake is still very dry, but we're lucky that Salmon Arm, they're for supplying water to us, comes from a real deep part of the lake. So we had water restrictions, but everybody still had water here, so that was really good. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put some lava rock in the bottom. It's just, I have a whole bunch of this, so there. So I put some lava rock in the bottom. And I'll put the tag over here so I don't lose it, because I need a drink. This was the smell of that stuff I picked up. There. I know I'm crazy. I don't know what happened to me. The rest of the family's pretty sane. Oh dear. Okay, now we have to put some bark in until we get it, you know, up, so we can see the poor little thing. I got enough. Oh yeah, we'll be good. I I thought about putting it in the cup I put inside the pot, but I didn't really want to do that because these, I don't know what this was. Jack found it somewhere. It's a type of traffic cone, but they're rubbery. They're sort of rubbery, so they seem to, if you look at my traffic cones, the flowers love them, so we're just going to put that around. I'm going to take you around and show you them when we get her all planted and happy. There, you know, there's a few more left. There, just a poor little thing. I don't know, when I got it, I read something about it and I was scared to do anything with it, and I left it in that tiny little pot, and it wasn't very happy, but my goodness, it sure got used to being dry. So there. You know, my friend Henry, I was telling you about, he helped me do so many things. One day, he was way down in his back pasture and he's whistling at me and waving, and he's down by the creek and I'm way at my property, and what's he doing? And I was home alone, and I thought, holy, and then I looked close and he had this real old horse, and I saw the horse keep lifting its head up and putting its head down, and the horse had gone and it was laying down. It was real old and it was in the creek, and it couldn't hold its head up, and he's calling for help. So I had this old truck. It was full of holes, but I mean, it would work on the farm. So I jumps in the truck and I get over there, and we got the horse on this big old piece of wood, and we managed to tie some ropes around it, and I pulled the horse out of the creek so that he was out far enough he wasn't going to drown, and then we managed to get him up on his feet, and Henry got him to the barn. And you know, I can talk about it quicker than it happened because it was very late by the time all that was done. But anyway, he didn't have the heart to tell me he had to put the horse down, but he didn't really want to tell me, and I didn't hear about it for some days later. But it was in such a bad shape, but he didn't want it to have to go there. He wanted it in the barn where the horse was used to being. He loved his animals. He taught me how to raise everything. Everything I knew from the farm I learned. It's going to bring tears to my eyes. Anyway, it's Thanksgiving. It's a good time to remember the good people in your life. Everybody said he was an old recluse, and he'd come over and he'd bring squash pie or baked beans, and he'd help me chop wood, and I'd go help him do hay. You know, Thanksgiving is a good time to remember, not just be thankful for what you have now, but the good times in your life that you really appreciate. And I appreciate it. So I wasn't planning on talking about him, but I could write a book. Oh my God. Because one time he played, he had no power at his house, and he only had an outhouse and no power, just a wood stove, and if I went down there at night, he'd be playing his violin, but he could sing songs, and he'd be playing his violin. And he took Mom and Dad and I, and we all went over to Enderby, and they had an old age thing and all this old-fashioned dancing, and I can't dance. There's something, I cannot dance like that. But anyway, just give me automatic reaction. I'm a 60s girl, teenager. Anyway, just so many stories, so many really, really, really good memories. Okay, I am going to take you for a trip to see all the orchids now. And I got another mess to clean up, and pretty soon those pies will be coming out. Let me just unloose this. There. Okay, get this hooked in. I'll see if I can show you my pies, because they're in the oven. And I got extras, so I did some with no crust. So they're cooking, but they're not ready. Okay, and I've had such a mess here today, but first let's go look at orchids. Okay, this orchid here in a traffic cone, it has lots of leaves and lots of roots everywhere, all the way down, all over, even though they're old. And this is how it looks here. So I haven't seen a spike coming on this one, but the one from last year is flowering. Nice, healthy flowers. And more coming. And it's just standing up there so proud. And then over here, this one has a nice new leaf. And this is the spike from last year, has one coming. And this is the new spike. Look how big it is already. The traffic cones are doing amazing. And so here, this one that also has lots of roots and lots of leaves, it has a spike coming, and it has one coming off of last year's spike. And the one next to it, it has one starting to come off of last year's spike. Not too sure about a new one yet. And this is the one that I thought had black rot, and I had to cut the leaf off. But it's healthy. And here we have a spike coming. And that's a root. That is not a spike. I don't see one there, and I don't see one there or there. Here we have a spike. Now we'll go over here. Now up here we have beautiful blooms. And this is Tang blue. Let me see. Blue jay. I have to get something for my labels better, but. And of course, this one was in full bloom, but it's out now. It's finished. Okay. And down here, this is the big lip, and she's usually a little later. And I don't think there's one here yet. And this is, the terrarium is happy. There's just this one. It's not happy. The rest are fine. Okay. So that's what's happening in that window. And then, excuse me. I know there's a spike somewhere here. I've seen it. Oh, it's back in there. There is a little spike coming in there. There, and I'm not sure about the other two yet. And here there is a spike coming way down there, but it's small. And I think there is a spike here too. I can see it back. Oh no, that's last year's. Maybe not. Maybe not. But these are the ones I just repotted. And back here we have a big spike, even though this is the north window. It didn't seem to matter. Okay, we got to go see what Maggie's barking at. Maggie, no barking. You get to see our beautiful sunshine. We're just, hey, hey. We'll go over now. Hey, no barking. Okay, we'll show you the beautiful sunshine. Oh, he has a different dog today. Okay, we have beautiful sunshine. It is gorgeous now. We're thankful for that too. But we do need rain. We've had a little rain, but and you be a good girl, right? Right? Okay, let's go look at the orchids over here. Okay, here's where I have all the glass ones. You know, since I separated them into traffic cones in one area, my watering is so much quicker. So in here we have a spike. Nothing on last year's cane yet, but this is one of the twins. If you remember, I put one in the glass vase and one in a purple vase. And this one has a spike. Last year's spike and one coming. So the twins are both doing something, and they're both in different pots, but they're both doing something. And this one's from the plastic experiment where we had one in each in plastic bottles. And I do not see a spike here yet, but as you can see, the growth on these roots, they are happy in here. Yeah, they're very happy. And I have this little one here, and I think it might be going to spike. I'm not sure. And this is my last one, the Peloric one, that was in flower from April 10th till about a month ago. And it's got good growth too. It's happy. They do like these. See the roots in here? And this one's been almost a year in here in this now. And then here in the basket, everybody looks fine, but I don't see any spikes coming there. And after dark, Baker's Burgundy, will I get flowers? I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. It has a good root system, and these are the two Nobel dendrobiums, the one that got hurt. I put them in here. This one is not happy. I've had more trouble with this one. It's Memorial Valretic, and I've had more trouble with her. She's just, I don't know. Okay. So they are doing pretty good, and I'm gonna say happy Thanksgiving to all the other people that are celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend, and pretty soon you guys in the States and other places will have yours, but I'm thankful for you, and thanks for joining me. Bye for now.